Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood. You are watching the Political Vigilante. So yesterday, Wednesday, March 11th, we heard that Chelsea Manning had committed, had attempted suicide while in federal prison. I released a video, and it's in my Julian Assange playlist, showing the address where you could send her a note. I did a video, I just autographed a picture and sent it to her. She's, in my opinion, is an American hero. But there's an update to that. There actually is a silver lining that I wanted to discuss. U.S. District Judge Anthony J. Trenga ordered whistleblower Chelsea Manning released from detention on Thursday. So I don't know any more up-to-date information on that, but this is actually good news. Now she still has $250,000 in fines. They've been fining her every day. And this is preposterous that they're obviously, the suicide attempt, I don't know that many details on it. Maybe they tried to harm her and they're calling it a suicide attempt, or which is equally as believable, or maybe even more believable, is that they've tortured and abused her and really tried to force her to get so down and depressed that she attempts something like this, which is even worse in some ways. Like, let's break this person. Let's get them to kill themselves. That's how awful the ruling class is. That's how awful the American empire is. We scream about all these crimes. Look what China's doing and Russia's doing. Look what these repressive regimes. We are a repressive regime. We are a repressive regime. There is zero evidence that anything, the collateral damage video, anything that she leaked to WikiLeaks and Julian Assange that was published, there is zero evidence that any of it put any American service members' lives. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. None. So we're the big evil American empire, and this is how we treat people. So I've never met her. The fact that they put her in jail, they want her to roll on Julian, and they won't. And look what they've done to Assange. I mean, we've already talked to Tariq Haddad on this show about, he was in the courtroom. He saw how Assange was acting and pleading, and he talked to Tariq's friends and said it was very emotional. He saw the judge basically make up her mind before the defense even put out any arguments. He said that Assange was strip searched, which is just brutal, man. It's just brutal. So this is heartbreaking. This is a little ray of hope here. So she's been released on detention. The next thing is, and if you go to her Twitter profile, also on my Twitter page, @Graham Elwood, I put this petition to get these $250,000 waived, because they're going to try to, stick it to her any way that they can. And these fines are preposterous. They are ridiculous. This is a complete miscarriage of justice. This spits in the face of anybody who values the American court system, the American idea of democracy, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It completely spits in that face. WikiLeaks is not a terrorist organization. They're not cyber terrorists. They're a publishing. They're a news outlet. All Julian Assange did was publish whistleblowing stuff. The New York Times has done this on a weekly basis. They've done this all the time. So then the editors of the New York Times should be put in jail like this. Not to mention, I was talking about Ben Bradley and the Pentagon Papers. So then what he did with the Pentagon Papers, then he should be put to jail, right? He should have rotted in jail, right? What? No, historically, we see how important that was, and America needed to hear that. The Afghanistan papers that just came out a couple months ago, whoever published those, should they be in prison? No, they shouldn't. Anything exposing abuses of power, even if it's the good old US of A, needs to happen. Those in power don't care about you. When I see people online, oh, Chelsea's a traitor and this and that. No, you're speaking truth to power. Because if they come for her, they could come for you. They come for Julian Assange. They could come for Rachel Maddow. They could come for Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson seems to be like one of the only corporate mouthpieces that kind of gets the Julian Assange thing. He's actually on the right side of that. He's on the right side of Syria. He's on the wrong side of immigration. He has a completely right-wing racist point of view. So I disagree with him on that, but I don't have to judge one journalist on all of their stuff when they get on the right side of something. So Crystal Ball at the Hill and her co-host, they're on the right side of a lot of issues. They're on the wrong side of Julian Assange, and we need to politely tell them to get on the right side of this. I don't know them personally. I got a lot of respect for what they do, and I've seen Crystal Ball be on the right side of so many issues, but she needs to get on the right side of. A year ago, they said something really, they were basically repeating, he was repeating CIA talking points, and she laughed about it, which was like pretty offensive. Now, some of the really intense Assange people flipped out, and now they're always online saying she's not a real progressive, which is like, but then they're okay with Roger Waters being on Tucker Carlson, which is like they're missing the point. And let's just get people in the media to get on the right side of things. Ultimately, this is good news. I will continue to follow. I don't know what the fallout from this is going to be, or what. Does this mean they can put her back in prison when she gets healthy? Does this mean she's got to pay the $250,000? I don't know this information, but as soon as I find it out, I'll report it back to you. Thanks for watching the show. Like, share, and subscribe. Boom, you're making Gotham great again.